Alright guys, so we're back with a brand new video, and in this video I want to go over the vehicle brands that are going to be the best option for you when you are looking to buy a used car, because I found that when you know the brands and you know what you're looking for and you know what's reliable, you can get a great used car saving you thousands and thousands of dollars. Now I will say right up front that there is going to be people that are going to tell you that you have to buy a brand new car simply because you know what you're going to be getting and you don't want to really buy someone else's problem. But I'm telling you from personal experience that that is not true. So here's the deal, guys. I live in the United States of America, and here we have plenty of options to pick from, whether you're looking for a luxury sporty car or a big SUV or a brawny heavy-duty pickup, or maybe to the average commuter car. It really doesn't matter. But these options that we have can actually be daunting. So in this video, I want to break down the categories that we usually see here in the country of America, and I want to talk about the origin and the quality of the vehicles and the manufacturers. So when it comes to finding one of the most reliable vehicles on the road, hands down, you can almost always depend on the Japanese brands like Toyota, Nissan, Honda, Subaru, and maybe Mazda. And in fact, according to Forbes.com, in a recent survey, 19 out of 25 vehicles tested for reliability were Japanese vehicles. So if you're like me, you have to ask the question, how come the Japanese vehicles are so much better than anybody else? Well, one thing I will say is the Japs are world renowned for their detail and their oriented engineering and their industrial R&D. For me personally, I actually have a 2011 Toyota Camry at the moment, and it has 204,000 miles, and I'm telling you, it runs and drives like new, and I have never actually had any major repairs done to it other than general maintenance. It's that simple. Now I want to go over some of the things that you need to look for when you are actually looking to buy a used car. First of all, I want to say that I recommend buying a car from a dealer. And the reason I say you buy from a dealer is because they are actually ones that have gone over the car. They're probably big dealers or small dealers in your area that are reputable, and they actually stand behind their product. You have to be careful when you are actually looking on social media or Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist and looking for used cars, because that is a place that I have seen that people actually try to get rid of their junk, and if you're not careful, you will buy someone else's problem. So let's just go over a simple checklist of what I do when I am actually going to look for a new car. The first thing I do is I walk around the outside of the car. And what I'm doing is I'm looking for dents. I'm looking for maybe a repair paint job that's going to kind of give you a sign that it may have been in an accident. I like to look underneath the car. I like to look at the wheels and maybe the oil pan and areas of the engine that looks like there may be some leaking fluid or anything like that, and that's going to be a telltale sign that there is a problem maybe with the engine that you want to be aware of. You always want to go ahead and take that car for a spin. Whether the dealer goes along with you or not, it really doesn't matter, but what you're doing is you're actually listening to the engine as it runs to see if it's whining or if it's running smooth, and try and take notice of how the transmission shifts as you kind of go down the road. Another thing I like to look for is I like to look for the steering. Make sure that the steering wheel is tight and that it's not pulling from one side or the other. Make sure it's aligned well, that it drives straight down the road, and make sure you lift up the hood and look in the engine and look at the hoses and the belts and see if anything like that needs to be replaced. One thing you really want to find out is you want to find out if that car actually has a warranty. Most dealers will at least give a 30-day warranty, and this is a simple warranty policy that if anything pops up in the meantime, that you can go ahead and return the car and you will give your money back. All right, let's get into the second category. The second category of vehicles that we actually can buy here very easily in the United States is going to be the luxury models or the luxury category. And I will say that if you're looking for a luxury car, more of an upscale car, your European brands such as Audi and VW and Porsche and BMWs and Mercedes are actually one of the top trends of the pick among Americans. But one thing I want you to know is that the cost of the car obviously obviously is going to be more upfront. And you got to be aware that when you have a luxury car, when you do more repairs, the repairs tend to be a higher cost simply because the service and the parts have a higher markup. The third category of cars that we actually have readily available in America here is absolutely the American-made vehicles. And that is going to be your Chevy and your Ford and your Dodge brands. And consequently, these three companies are very well known for their big, brawny, heavy-duty pickup trucks and their full-size SUVs like the Chevy Silverado or the F-250 or even the Chevy Suburban. Those bigger vehicles are typically their bread and butter. They put a lot of research and development into their big heavy-duty trucks and their heavy-duty SUVs, and consequently they do very well on the road. One thing I would say about the American-made vehicles, they absolutely do have a full line of vehicles from mid-size trucks to mid-size SUVs and maybe even some small cars. But I want you to keep in mind that they are actually made to actually fill out their line of vehicles. I would tend to maybe shy away from their smaller vehicles if you're looking for durability and longevity in a used car. So I just want to recap this a little bit. If you are looking for a used vehicle and you're looking for quality and low maintenance, your Japanese brands are your way to go. And this is true whether you're buying a Japanese car, a small to a mid-size SUV, to their large SUV and their pickup truck. Here's the deal. You can hardly go wrong by buying a Japanese vehicle. Now, if you're looking for high luxury cars, keep in mind that your German-made luxury cars are going to be your best bet, like Audi and BMW and Mercedes, and they tend to be the pick of maybe the high rollers and the rich folks. So if you're looking for heavy hauling and transporting kids to and from that awesome vacation, you're looking for a great big SUV or a large truck, make sure you go ahead and check out the American-made vehicles like the Ford Expedition and the Chevy Suburban and the F-150 or the Chevy Silverado. Those bigger vehicles are going to be great vehicles to purchase for that application, whether they're brand new off the lot or even if they're 4 or 5 years old. And if you're wondering how much you should spend in your budget for a new vehicle and what for car payment you should be looking at, make sure you check out my video that I will put in the link in this description below about financing and how much you should spend per month on a vehicle according to your income. And until next time, cheers, and we'll see you in the next video.